Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ursula de Cruz. Welcome to the podcast Career Conversations. The aim of the show is to help students choose from different career options. Today's show is about careers in audit, and I'm joined by Miss Jannike Pereira. Miss Pereira is an audit professional with many years of experience working at Ernst and Young. Thank you for joining me today, Miss Pereira.
You're welcome.
Without further ado, let's take a deep dive in today's topic. So, what would someone in your profession generally do?
So someone in my profession, so an audit, it's based in accounting, but a lot of what we do is working on different clients, on their specific accounting issues and on their financial statements. That's mainly what we do. So each year, once they have, there's a certain deadline by which either if it's a public company or a private company, you have a deadline to file your financial statements. That's where we come in. Our job is to audit all of that information. So to make sure that before those statements are published, everything is accurate in there. So our job is to um, look at these financial statements, understand based on kind of the size of the accounts, which ones are the most important to us, and we do testing on that. We perform our testing based on the size of client. Sometimes it's not feasible to do it right at the end to when they're getting ready to release the financials. We do it throughout the year. So we do it sometimes each quarter and then at year end. And it's essentially us doing different testing on these balances to make sure we're comfortable with these being presented to the public or being presented to their banks or whoever else are the users of their financial statements.
I'm sure every day must be different and not the same.
Yeah, and that's what's good about the being an audit. You get a lot of exposure to different clients. So I do a lot of different ones in the manufacturing industry, the service industry, pharmaceuticals, technology. So each client is very different. So the things that you're testing or the clients that you're talking to is different each day. And also each day you're doing very different things. It's not a job where kind of you have the same day multiple times. Every day is sort of working on different parts of the audit. You're doing different things to plan. Also, as you go up in your career, your role changes a little bit as to what type of work you're doing. So I'd say, yeah, it is quite different on a day-to-day basis.
Yes. And what made you decide to pursue this particular profession?
So when I came to Canada to do university, initially my intention was to do finance and to possibly do my CFA. But as I went through the different courses at university, I found that I was good at accounting. I'd also been good at accounting in high school, but I just didn't know what audit was or what a job in accounting would look like. To me, I thought it was someone, sitting in the back doing debits and credits all day by themselves. So that wasn't appealing to me. But when I came here, I understood what audit is, how you are client facing, meeting lots of different people and different people at companies all the time, and learning on the job. So I think I found the job more interesting, and also in terms of my capabilities and what I was interested in. I was much stronger in accounting than I was in finance and math, and that showed through the different courses I did at university. Um, so that's kind of how I switched into accounting, because it was naturally I was quite good at accounting as a subject. And as I got more exposure to what audit was, I realized it could be something that I could be interested in. And that's kind of how that happened, naturally through the university process. And I got an internship at EY in my third year. And that's when, I got an idea for the summer of what the job would be like, and then decided to continue.
I'm sure the transition must have been quite smooth.
Yeah, it is quite different going from university and kind of what you're learning to taking it into practice. But I'd say it was good that had a strong foundation in it, and I felt comfortable that I was good at it, to kind of be able to transition that easily into kind of the work life.
Yes. And what choice of subjects did you do in college to enable you to get into this particular profession?
So I did a Bachelor of Business Administration. And for that, in the first 2 years, you do all the subjects, which was good for me in that I got exposure to finance, I got exposure to accounting, economics. So in the first 2 years, it's more general, and then you choose a specialty, and that's where I chose a specialty in accounting. So then you do more advanced accounting courses, you do tax courses, and specialize in that. So I did a Bachelor of Business Administration, BBA, with a specialization in accounting.
Yes. And how did your working career progress?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I joined EY as an internship, so summer intern. So that started in my third year, so just in the summer break. It was sort of a 2.5 month, 3 month internship. And then after I finished that, I accepted the full-time offer. So that meant after I finished my fourth year at university, I joined full-time. So I joined then, and now it's been 8 years, so it's been quite a while. So I went you in accounting. It's very structured. You start as a junior accountant. You then in 1 year you proceed to intermediate accountant, and then you're a senior. A senior really means now you're managing those juniors and intermediates. You get a bit more of a senior role. You stay there for about 2 years or so, and that's when you get promoted to manager. And then the manager level is another 4 years. And after that, you get promoted to senior manager, which is where I am now. I got promoted to senior manager last year. So it's my second year now of being a senior manager. And kind of that's where I am in my career. The only other step after senior manager is partner, and that's a really big one. So that'll take a while.
Yes, I'm sure every day must be like a roller coaster for you.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of different things all the time, and with accounting, it's surprisingly, or rather with audit, I'd say things come up all the time which you don't expect. So, but what's good is we always work in teams, so you're never alone just trying to figure it out. You have a lot of different teams on your different audit clients, and you always have people above and below you to kind of help you out when things come up.
Yes. And what would you say is a necessary expertise or the most critical skill for someone to have within this field?
So, kind of similar to what I talked to in terms of teams, I think the most critical skill to have is being able to work in teams and collaborate with people. And kind of also, as you get higher and you're learning to balance different personalities and help people work together. It's not always, that you're going to get a good draw and your team is great. There's always times when personalities clash or different ways of working, but the job that we do is always done in teams, that it is really important for us to realize how best to work with people, and not just ourselves, but how to make other people work best with the rest of their team. So I think it's a lot of knowing how to manage people, put them, either with people who they get along well, but also know the amount to challenge them, and try to help them adjust when they don't get along with other people, and kind of help people work through the different working styles and be flexible so that they can easily adjust to other people. So I'd say working with people and managing how other people work together is probably the most important.
Yes. And if someone were keen to go into this field, what words of advice would you give them?
So I think the main thing is that you have to get comfortable with working hard and working long hours at certain points of the year. In audit, during that time when all the public companies have to file their statements, which is the January to March period, it is what we call our peak time or busy period. Um, it's you have to get used to it, in that those are going to be months, the 3 months there where you're probably going to work on the weekends, you're going to work late, have dinners with your team. It's good that it's just 3 months, and over a year. In Canada, it coincides with winter, so there's not much to do anyways. It makes it go by really quickly. But it is an adjustment. We don't really have that 9 to 5 job that a lot of people sometimes do kind of think of as what work will be like. So for those couple of months, it's much higher in terms of hours and in terms of what you're going to be doing, and you have to get really comfortable with being with your teams a lot, and working those long hours. And then it kind of evens out throughout the rest of the year. During the summer, we kind of have a much fewer hours than other people. We're not doing 9 to 5. We kind of have lots of extra long weekends and Fridays off. And then during the fall and the spring, it's kind of in between. So I think The one thing to get used to is not having that monotony or the whole time of the year, or having a set schedule based on what you're working on or what's happening at your client. Things can change frequently. At the same time, you have teams, so it's not that it's all on you to be there one day and figure it all out. So it's more understanding what where your priorities are at that point in your life, how you want to make things work for you, and being very clear with your teams on, can I do this or can I not do this? But at the same time, having the realization that there are certain times of the year that are going to be busier for you than other professions, and getting used to that, and being comfortable with that being part of your job. But then on the flip side, making sure you take advantage of the time when there isn't much to do, and you do have some flexible time.
Yes, I'm certain the viewers would have found this very helpful. Thank you for your time, Ms. Pereira.
You're welcome.
And thank you to the viewers for watching.